Welcome to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Owen Hayes. You're watching Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented to you by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. By the way, you need to be heading that direction to get gifts for others, but maybe for yourself as well. Not to be too selfish. Today, it's the 19th of November. Slow down, Owen. 19th of November. We are basically exactly 1 month into our duck season here in Oregon. And later on in this upcoming segment, I'll kind of just give you a quick rundown on how things have gone for me up to this point. I know I've shown you lots of photos and been getting a lot of questions about that, so we'll kind of cover that in this upcoming segment. But we do have a lot of photos that everybody's been sending in, and we show those at the beginning of each one of our shows. So pay attention here in just a little bit. We've got a few photos that we're going to show you that everyone's been sending in, and a video. And from what Ryan tells me, it's kind of like a duck hunting scenic thing. So that had to go in, of course. So we're going to have those in just a little bit. Also, we will have river levels. Things didn't change as much as we showed yesterday. And that's a good thing, especially if you're planning on doing some fishing this holiday week, right? Now, you might be going, what holiday? It's Thanksgiving, by the way. Hello. Here in just a handful of days, there's going to be a lot of people off and a lot of people in the field. Doesn't matter what they're going to be chasing, fishing, hunting, or different opportunities. There's going to be a lot of people out. And with these conditions the way that they are right now, river conditions, you got a really good week to look forward to, especially if you like to spend time on the bank. If you're a drift boater, you've got some pretty good options. We'll cover those river levels with you. Of course, a reminder for Procure, so pay attention to that. We'll check in with Katie and find out what this weather is really going to do. I just absolutely love having that aspect of the show now, sharing that and getting that info out real time, because it changes so darn quickly, especially this time of year. I will admit, though, we need a lot of weather. For me, as a duck hunter, we need a lot of weather. And some might go, well, what do you mean? We're getting rain? Well, yeah, we're getting some rain, but we need cold up north to really change things. Yesterday afternoon, well, not to give up too much, we'll talk about this upcoming segment, but yeah, we need weather. And we'll find out from Katie what it's going to actually be like this week. If you remember, for well over a decade, we called Sunday the Viewer Show, right? Where we wanted to take as many phone calls that we could, show photos, answer Facebook questions. We did that for a very long time, and things are, a little bit different. But today is one of those days. We actually have time broken out for several phone calls. And now, if you call up, if you're live, you go to the front of the line, right? Live meaning in the field somewhere with a live report. Front of the line, we're going to take that report. Or if you have questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. It's right there. The Terra Firma hotline, 503-548-6777. So don't be scared. There's lots of folks that call up, or I should say this, leave us messages via Facebook or Instagram or whatever sources we have out there that they couldn't get through. Well, this is the time. Ryan is, we actually have a couple calls that are coming in now. So we certainly have some time set up for you. But I think the meat of the show today is the Chevy Silverado Tech Tip of the Week. Now, I actually have a couple of them. Both of them are covering different questions from viewers that are out there. One in particular, the first one, is how to keep your duck gun up and running throughout the season. Now, we're 1 month in, and if you're like me, you shoot a bunch. I'm well into my second case of ammo, and I haven't cleaned my shotgun yet because that's just me. I spend too much time using it as opposed to cleaning it, which is definitely not the best way to go. But that's also why I shoot a Beretta. Completely different topic. But the question is, how do you keep it running, right? Not necessarily cleaning it, but different lubricants and different things you can do to maintain that, your duck gun through the season without having to pull it apart. And sometimes it's just going to fall down to you need to take it apart and clean it. But we're going to cover that. Also, we've talked quite a bit in the last couple of weeks and for several years now about soft beads as opposed to hard beads, right? Now, the question is, I don't know if I've actually addressed this specifically, but why and how to fish the two, maybe that's not even the best way to put it either, but why the two different? Why would you fish a soft bead as opposed to a hard bead or vice versa, right? Now, I've mentioned here many times, I prefer to fish a hard bead. 8 out of 10 folks that you're going to run into out there chasing steelhead around, they're going to say, well, I like to fish a soft bead. Well, we're going to find out what those differences are. And one of the questions that we got, which there were more than a couple, was why soft beads? They look more difficult. Well, because they are. There's a lot more moving pieces. It's a system. It's a system to put a leader together for a soft bead. Now, there's a ton of different versions out there these days. Arrow, of course, makes them from Hawken. Well, perfect, Hawken Fishing. Arrow makes them. Oregon Tackle makes scent-infused soft beads, which are extremely popular for a reason. B&R, which I'm not 100% sure. Brandon, call us if you're watching. I don't know if you are or not. You're probably fishing. May have been the original soft bead manufacturer. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say he kind of started it all off as being so darn popular, is that B&R soft bead that's out there. Now, I fish 90% of the time trout beads, which are hard beads. And we'll kind of go over why, I like that, right? Again, why you might fish one as opposed to the other. So those will be our 2 tech tips today, as well as taking some of your phone calls, making sure that we can answer some questions. And we have a couple on here. Which one should we take first? Let's go with Phil. Phil's from Canby. He's got a comment about chronic wasting disease. And not to recap everything that we've been talking about with ODFW here within the last month, everyone, but this is a huge, and it's actually just one of the scariest things ever as an outdoors person. But Phil, what do you got for everybody?
Well, good morning, Fish.
Good, good morning.
Yes, fellow Quaker. In the current issue of Bugle from Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation,
yeah,
there's an article about 2 universities that are working on chronic wasting disease. The University of Minnesota is reputed to, they've developed a faster and more accurately than ever test for determining CWD. And where previous tests could take up to 8 weeks for results, but this new technique delivers results in just days.
That's a
It is
huge
also
advantage.
said to be 3 times more accurate than previous tests and cheaper as well. Also, the University of Tennessee is working on a rapid test for detection where they can use live animal specimens in the field, droppings, and also urine. And so it's, they're making some progress on this. It's still not out of the box yet, but it sure sounds good. This article is New Horizons for CWD testing in the current issue of Bugle.
Hey, Phil, thank you for bringing that up. I really appreciate that. That was a topic of discussion with the folks from ODFW we had here in our GPS studio.
Yes, I saw that.
Was specifically about that. And everyone, if you missed that, please go back and see if you can find that in some of our clips from just the last handful of weeks. Chronic wasting disease is on our doorstep here in Oregon, and it is one of the scariest things as a big game hunter, especially in Oregon, that we have ever seen, and possibly the most devastating thing that we could have happen to us, especially with, again, referring to and talking with ODFW, some of the very interesting management strategies, I mean, the politest way that I can put it, on managing big game here in Oregon. But anyway, Bill, thanks for your phone call, sir. We appreciate it. That was an article out of Bugle. Phil, again, thank you, sir.
You bet.
Ken from Lebanon, bear with me. We can't take your call yet. We're gonna do it this upcoming segment, Ken, so don't go anywhere, please. Let's show some photos, right? If you've been sending these in, it does take a little bit of time for photos to get up because we do get a bunch of them. Father to daughter tag team, this is a great one. And when I always, and I say like, hey, I really know I know that tree. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Great photo, by the way. That is a coastal fall Chinook. Just a dandy photo. See, that's what this is all about, people. Steve, thanks for sending it in. This is a great day, sent in by Chris. Oh, yeah. Nice mess of ducks there. Looks like a dirty bag, kind of like my report I'm going to share with you today. My bag yesterday was dirty enough where I didn't even take a photo. But you got some greenheads in there. Very nice. Chris, thank you. Also, if you've been sending them again, make sure, again, you pay attention. Christie's first pheasant hunt. This was sent in via our KPTV.com, which is one of our best ways to do it, if not the best. Great photo. Nice weather, too, by the way. Great day. This is another Chris with a nice blacktail. Look at that. Nice buck. A little 3x2, whatever you want to call it. I call that delicious. David, thank you. Saddle Mountain feature reference. Ryan, when somebody sends you, other than like out of state, references to locations, let's just leave that off. I'm just saying. Montana, that's fine. We can talk all we want about Montana, Wyoming, and all that. Beautiful buck there. Another one, geez, he is rutted out. Look at the neck on that guy. Beautiful buck. And one of the most amazing parts of the world that I've ever been to. I'd like to spend more time in Montana and Wyoming. Haven't been there nearly enough. Brian, thanks for sending it in. Congratulations. And here's a video. Must be a Washingtonian. I know where that is. Nice greenhead too, by the way. Elwood, thanks for sending it in. We love these videos, everyone. It's easy to do. Please jump in and do that. We'd love to show it off, and this is how you do it. It's the Fox 12 app. Download that thing. Once you do so, scroll down to Outdoor GPS. You're going to find where you upload video and photos, and we show you off each of the beginnings of each of our shows. There you go. All right, let's cut to a quick break. When we come back, we've got my field report. Yesterday, as soon as I left the studio, I raced to the duck blind in an area that I don't really like to spend a whole lot of time. But we will talk about that and what I saw yesterday. Also cover all the standard information you need for this upcoming week. Right?